Okay, we are live. Um, so I was, um, hi here. Um, welcome. This is Women's Perspective live. I don't know how many. Like which one is it? Probably like we are somewhere around 12 altogether, I guess.
Oh, wow. Got a dozen.
But in January, this is our third live now, and this is the second live talking about friendships and connections. Hi there, Margaret.
Hi,
And
Margaret.
so here, so my name is Harriet Corwine, and on the screen with me is Anne J. Sharp. And let's go back to how we used to do this. So let's talk about you a little bit. So you have you have two publications here on Substack. You're a writer, right? And
And expand on that.
yes, please.
Okay, I won't leave it hanging there. Yeah, I have Woman Rising publication, and I just kind of talk about experiences and things in my life, I guess, for the most part, ideas and things that I have. And then the Phantasmagoria has not personal stuff on there. It's just some poetry and little stories and things like that usually. And I'm thinking about whether or not I want to do another publication or just add to Woman Rising. I have a kind of podcast idea, a different direction, but I didn't know if I wanted to make it separate from Women Rising or not, or just include it in there and just, kind of make it I don't know, announcement, separately, where you've got your Harriet C. or Harriet Tales. I don't know what the
No,
title.
no. I have two account like usernames. And the reason behind it, because I wanted at some point wanted to separate the two publications, so I didn't want both of them to flood one handle. So also when I initiate a live, I want to have that live go directly to the women's perspective. So I opened a new account, and that is what I am using right now, Harriet at Women's Perspective. And so when I start a live from here, it will go. So it's like being organized. It goes to the Women's Perspective website under that podcast tab, and not under AC Tales, which is like because the profile of these publications that I have are like very very different. The
Okay.
profiles are very different, so I don't necessarily. It's the same. It's both of them are me, but it is a different approach to different things. So
Mhm.
different sides of me, if we can put it that way. So
Yeah.
that that's why I so the and then I already talked about that myself right now. So you have your publications and then you're thinking of going um to like taking new routes as well, or it's
Yeah. I mean,
but not.
and I'm thinking about how you're doing it as I'm sitting here wondering, yeah, maybe because it's more of a project. So I might actually pull it out and make it separate. So it is like you have Women's Perspective. It's sort of a online magazine and
We have women's
podcasting.
perspective. It's like it's not me. And then let's not forget that you were the kind of reason behind it, or the that last drop that made me create this space, this platform, because of
Mhm.
that conversation that you and me had.
Right. Yeah. So it was a catalytic conversation
It
that we
was.
had, and
It
it,
was.
it lit a spark for you for sure. I mean, it did for me, but I didn't have the gumption. As I always say, you have the gumption, and so I'm still working on my gumption, but I think I'm going to have to just kick my own butt and and make my gumption happen. So instead of holding back, but
It's actually always easier. And then I guess we are going like kind of off track. The track that we didn't actually determine what direction we're going, right? But we're going
well,
a little off track
it
with this.
it's
That it's
still
easier to do something thinking that you're doing it for someone else,
yeah.
to stand up for someone else than to stand up for yourself. So I noticed that about my, and then once when we had a chat, it actually made me thinking that when so why do I do things, you know?
Mhm.
Because sometimes I just feel that urge that I need to do that and need to do something, but then I don't necessarily ask the question why. So like, is it good that we don't ask the question? Like, I didn't ask, I just went for it, Is it a good thing? It's like being kind of hot-headed at times, or not caring for the consequences, or not knowing, not thinking through what we are doing exactly, just going for it. Or is it better if we just like, sit on it a little bit and thinking it through, and thinking over like strategies and organizing it, so like I noted about myself that there's this kind of like war inside, like approaching anything like that. So like sometimes I just get into things, and they don't necessarily turn out bad. And then sometimes they are really good stuff actually. And then there are other things, like when I get like careful and think about that, and what should I do? And that holds me back. And so that maybe the fire or the passion that I would originally have for that one subject or idea, it kind of fades away, or, tempers down, or what, I don't know how to say that. So maybe it is like a blockage of creativity. And it is probably. So it's like two opposite things. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know how we got
I,
here.
well, I no, but I kind of think that this is not that as far off track as you think, because I do think that uh, when I do things a lot of times without thinking and I just dive in, there is usually a reason behind it, and it more than often has less to do with me and more to do with somebody else, like somebody I love or care about,
Mhm.
or
Good morning.
a thing, a lot of times a justice type thing, or just something that is a passion, and I'll dive in and stand up for it or that person or whatever situation it might be. But when it's something that is specific to me, I do take the slower road a lot of times, and it becomes too slow. Too much overthinking and caution before doing things and putting myself on the line for myself. I'm not as willing maybe to risk
Or for the
myself
common
for
good.
myself.
Or for the common good, you think. I mean,
Well,
occasionally, right?
the common good is a catalyst that that would, push me forward. Things that would help other people, or you know, the overall, I
I'll go
think.
get I'll go get tissues. I'm sorry. Just,
What's the
I
matter?
like being so organized here. I don't have that next to me. So tissues. I
Oh,
need to get tissues. But I'm like, just,
okay.
I keep talking, please.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
You don't mean to. It's just interrupted. Just
okay, thank you. I'm like, I don't know. So,
so. I'll go screen this a sec. Just I was I was thinking, like circling back to the question of friendships and connections, that I actually when we were chatting earlier this morning. After that, I went and looked up what connection is. It's like because I am not a native English speaker, and even with my native language, I would occasionally go and look up definitions, and so I just put in what is connection between two people, but I shouldn't have put that in. I could have just asked the question, what connection is, and it is talking about like, well, it's I don't normally use AI, but for like general questions, sometimes I just put in my question into the search field and hit enter, and it comes up as a summary. So I read it, and it says bond of mutual understanding, empathy, and feeling seen, heard, and valued, characterized by emotional intimacy, trust, and shared experiences, allowing for vulnerability and support without judgment, whether it's a deep romantic bond, close friendship, or familiar tie. And so while I was getting ready upstairs, I was also thinking of um, well, if it is, it's as said, it doesn't need to be between two people, but normally, like two people can be like you meet someone on the street, and you just like pass that person, or um oh, it's thinking of the video that you shared last night or yesterday at some point about like Hal and Origin talking, and they did talk about connection, and they were talking about at some point about homeless. And so like just walking in a city or somewhere, and then you are walking past another person, and let's say that person is, and I know it's getting heavy, but is, let's say, a homeless person having a sign up talking about um, personal difficulties, and then you don't know that person, and they don't know you, and then you try to help, give, I don't know, whatever cash on you to help that other person, or sometimes you don't because you can't help everybody. But is does it count as a connection? So, and or um, having family members that they are in your life for the majority of your life, and then um, you know them maybe, and the relationship is not the best, and then maybe it's actually the opposite. So it's like not it is not a pleasant thing to, let's say, meet that person or be around that person. So does that count as a connection? And so I was thinking about these things. I was thinking about the like, is loneliness the opposite of connection? And so because we mentioned that with Patricia, or we were talking about being introverted and extroverted, and but even if someone is an introverted person, even if someone is um, doesn't reach out to other people much for different reasons, um, that doesn't mean that they don't need connection. They do still need connection, I believe. Or if someone is by themselves, then does it mean that they are lonely? So these were the questions, and that popped in my mind. Also, to add some more to it, like thinking of plants, that to have another living creature there, when you live by yourself, and then add a plant, and that you know that you need to take care of that plant, and water it, and if that plant is going to give you a flower in exchange, that then you can kind of have a connection, or a friend. Is it a friendship maybe, I don't know. So maybe it's a far cry from it, but, or thinking of pets, you know, just look into your dog's eyes, or listen to your cat, or feel the cat, like rubbing to your legs as you're working in the kitchen. So I was thinking of these things, and it's like a huge subject, and I don't know where to go from there. And maybe I asked a question about, like, um, is our mystery guest around?
That's why I'm sitting on a stool because I didn't really want him, and I gave him some peanut butter in this little thing to keep him busy. So,
Oh, okay. So around, but busy. Okay.
yes, yeah.
So, um,
And he is my friend.
and your friend. Okay.
Yeah. He's a
Um,
let's see.
that's our mystery. Okay, I see a
Where is
wagging
he?
tail. Yes.
Judge. Here, sit. Sit. Okay, let's see if I can get you.
Oh,
There he
hello.
is. There he is. Hi, good boy.
Hi there. So, so you went to get a pet for yourself.
I had to. You say had to. Why do you say that?
What?
You said you had to get a pet for yourself?
No,
Is
no,
that
you went to get a pet.
Oh, I went.
That's what I
I
meant to
did.
say.
Well, a friend that I know in this local area, she is a huge animal person, and she, advocates for animals in need who are at shelters and stuff, who are getting close to their term of, being held there, where they will be euthanized if they don't get
Oh, okay.
adopted. So he was on the chopping block, this one, and I don't know what it was. I mean, I just saw him and something. I went down there. I told her I'm going to go down there on the day that he was scheduled to be gone. And I said, I'll see if he's still there and see, you know. And so I did. And he was sweet. He was real quiet, but he was on medications to keep him calm because he had anxiety being in the kennels with all the barking dogs. So, but anyway, I ended up adopting him and saving a life, you know. So, and he's really sweet. He is a good boy.
I'm so happy.
But yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, you had what you were saying about
I was saying a lot of things.
connections. Huh?
I was
Huh?
saying a lot of things.
Well, you said about connections, like if you see somebody on the street and don't know them, but you have some kind of exchange or whatever, is that a
Just
connection?
like, like just looking at each other, like looking into someone's eyes.
Yeah. And
Um,
I mean, it could be. I mean, there's been times where I've given money to people standing on the corner. I went to a taco place one night. I was so hungry. I got back from the airport and there was a person wandering around this taco place that I could tell they had some serious problems going on in their head or whatever. And she came, like I was about to place my order. She came over and obviously she was a homeless gal. And when I see a woman in that situation, no matter what is wrong with her, I mean, it breaks my heart so bad that, I mean, so I gave her some money because she was saying some gibberish stuff to me right in front of the thing where you're supposed to make your order. And I was like, I can't sit here and order myself food when this lady, obviously is in desperate need of something, some kind of help. And if I can even get her $10 and whatever she does with it doesn't matter to me. But, I knew, I don't know if she's going to buy food, right? I would hope that she does. But anyway, and is that a connection? No, not really. but it was a connection to my heart. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't just think about myself and tell her to go away and or say something to the people working in the thing. You know, you've got this homeless person out here bugging people. You know, I just thought that I would do something, but yeah, there's family too. The flip side with family that is supposed to be a blood relation and a connection, and you don't like that person, possibly for whatever reason. That's a
A
disconnect.
broken connection, maybe.
Yeah,
Like,
where you don't want to have to be in their presence because they just get on your nerves so bad. Maybe I don't know.
because I don't know, maybe just we are somehow, even though we are related, we just don't build the same way. Weren't built the same way. Like, I don't know how that can happen, but that can happen. That two people they have so different views.
Sorry,
No, it's all right.
he's chewing on his leash.
So, like, sometimes that can happen that two people have just so different views, and with someone, a stranger, it's easy because you just don't see them again, right? It's like if you don't feel good around someone, then you're just not going to um, try to meet them next time, right?
That's
Or
true.
just try to get away. But then there are situations that you cannot really get away. So I would definitely, that is kind of still a connection, but or a broken one, or I don't know. But it is like a blood relation. It is a connection, definitely,
Mhm.
and that is a kind of like it's just an example. It's just something sad that you don't know how to severe ties sometimes. So, um, and then there are other type. It's just one thing that also popped in my mind that today is actually my father's birthday.
Oh.
So, so connection, um, I definitely had a connection with him,
Mhm.
and he passed away 7 years ago, uh, almost. And so connection can also mean that it's that also can last even after death, right?
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
um, I didn't know. I don't have a plan
Mhm.
or a an outline of what I thought to talk about today. But the fact that you got a pet that that like kind of warmed my heart because I remember. I mean, I have pets. I have three cats here. Um, we have three cats,
Mhm.
and I had a dog. I wrote about that dog or the connection I had with that dog a couple of months ago. Um,
I remember that article where the they took her away.
it was I was little, and my dad got home one day and brought home a little puppy, and so it was a hit. The dog grew, and as normal there, that dog lived out in the outhouse. Or I mean, it's a dog house, outhouse. That means something different. Okay, sorry. A dog house,
Yeah.
and then next spring there were puppies, or the I don't know, or the spring after. I don't know. They were puppies,
Mhm.
and my mother asked me to go and pick one, and I didn't understand. I was not told why I needed to pick up. I was happy. I was really happy that they were like a bunch of little cute little puppies, in the corner of that building that I don't even remember the name of the dog actually. Um, but I remember seeing um, like a lot of puppies, black and white little puppies, and touching them, and then they were soft and warm, and they made these little noises, and and I didn't understand why I needed to pick one.
Oh.
So um, then I'm not gonna tell the whole story. I picked the smallest one of the litter, and that became my dog. And after a while, not too much time passed, but then a neighbor, a farmer, came with his horse-drawn carriage and took away the mother dog, the big dog, and I was left with the dog that I picked. And I grew up with that dog, and we went through a lot of things. But that definitely was a special connection between a friendship between me and him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my story.
Sit. I'm sorry. I think he wants me to take him out on a walk, and that's why he's bugging me so bad. Sorry about that.
I don't know. It's like it doesn't care about the life, right? I mean, they have
Well,
their
I'm
needs, and
sorry. I do
it is
care.
no, no, not you, the dog.
Yeah, for some reason, he's
The dog
decided to
doesn't
get rowdy.
understand.
No,
Oh, I
no.
understand that you do. I say the dog um doesn't know
No. Ah,
that you,
of course, he's coming with his worst behavior right in the middle of this.
but it's fine. Um,
I have to.
well, why don't you? Well, can you take him out for a walk?
Um, possibly, but
Possibly. You don't know if you
I'm trying to just ignore him a minute. Anyway, I
poor thing.
apologize. It's
No, it's
very unexpected. I didn't think he was going to all of a sudden decide to be a jerk during our life.
no,
Uh,
that's all right. I actually love misbehaving pets. Um, well, I kind of like that when they get a little naughty animals. Yeah,
yeah, well, he's just restless. We live in an apartment, so it's not like I could
yeah,
just open the door and let him run outside. That's the part of the problem. So he relies on me to see to his needs, and that includes activity.
yeah. Of course, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and care.
yeah,
Like in any kind of relationship, it's like you need to give them some sort of an attention and care, right?
yes, yeah,
So it's even if it is just a fleeting moment between two creatures, two people, or you know,
yeah.
um,
Yeah, just sometimes you send me a message out of the blue, and that kind of like is nice to receive, something, just somebody thinking about you and sending a little smiley face or a hello, and it's
yeah.
nice.
Even when if you just if I just think of that, I saw a video somewhere online, and it was about a big playful dog being walked on the street somewhere, and that dog was also saved from a shelter or adopted from a shelter. And the person said that he would have definitely adopted that dog himself because it looked like the dog was smiling. So it's like a big fluffy white thing, you know, smiling into the camera. And so if it is that is if it is just a few minutes that you meet someone with their dog on the street, and then ask like, can I pet your dog? Or I mean, especially with kids, like if you go out, and ask that if you can pet a dog, and then they say yes, like uh, that moment that you get something for it. I mean, the dog enjoys it too, and then you can also like why? Like, what does it do to us? It's like warms our heart, or uh, because our hormones or whatever that is, like happiness, just
Oh,
like
yeah, like
um,
dopamine.
rise rises inside, and it just makes you feel good. I mean, I'm not sure if like everybody is like that, but we actually had a dog walked on our street for many many years. It was like a black lab, and their owner, like my daughter was little, and so it became a habit every afternoon to go out in front of the house with dog biscuit, right? And so it came to the point when they turned around the corner and got on our street. Um, the dog saw us in front of the house and then you could see it was wagging its tail because he was called Jinx. And he recognized us from, I don't know, from the end of the street, which was like 8, 10 houses away.
Uh-huh.
And and then so we saw that dog until
Huh.
pretty much till the end of his life, and not necessarily on a daily, but at some point, yes. So my daughter grew big, and the dog grew old, and it was not our dog, but that was sort of a friendship, some sort of a connection um, that we developed with that dog. So
Yeah.
probably it's like probably the dog when we saw us, he was thinking that yeah, dog biscuit, or some belly rubs or something.
Right. Yeah, I did see a cute story online not very long ago. Not, I feel like we're talking about animal or dogs more than anything than
I
friends,
don't know
but
that.
they are man's best friend, right? But there was this story about this woman lived. I guess she lived in a apartment complex, and there was an older gentleman that lived there, and she got a puppy, a dog, and this old guy would always be sitting out in the little park area on a bench or something, and she would come with her dog, and he wasn't like a dog person, this older man,
Uh-huh.
but the dog had an instant love for this guy, and just every time he would see this man sitting there, it would just go crazy and want to get up all over on his face and just love on him and everything. And same kind of thing you were talking about with the dog, and he didn't even have dog biscuits. The dog just loved this guy, and they had like that kind of bond.
I
Just
mean, thinking of the dog biscuit is kind of like bribing the dog for some love,
um,
no? Or the cats, they have also these treats. And by the way, how is your cat doing with the dog in the apartment? Is she, he,
they're not after each other or
no?
anything. She's okay. She's a little, I think, jealous. She's happy for bedtime because I don't let the dog on the bed. So she likes bedtime when I can be in there and she can lay with me and get her love. She wants to sit on my lap, out because I used to work on my computer and she'd sit on my lap while I was doing stuff, but she doesn't
Mhm.
get to do that now because I think she's a little afraid of the dog
Oh, okay.
bothering her, getting in her face, and she doesn't like that. So, but
Um, I had chat. Oh my gosh, at home. Um, terrible, terrible. Um, and now thinking like who I had a chat with about like cat personalities, that how about the cats um like how they are like a little bit like sassy can be, you
Mhm.
know. And oh yeah, my friend in Scotland. That's I told her that you need to have a dog, and but not a small one. The thing it's not a well the reason why I said that because around the apartment building that she lives in, there are some rats or signs that there are rats around, and
Mhm.
and she's afraid. And I said that you gotta get a dog for yourself, but don't get some kind of a pocket animal, like that. It's a tiny thing, but get something that demands what is it? Um, what is it that like a size like if there's a bigger dog. Help me with the word, please. Um,
Sure.
you know what I'm trying to say here?
No.
Like not dominance. So if there is like a standoff between two animals, like a rat and a dog, like if you have a bigger dog, like you have like maybe like a Transylvanian pointer. That's what I was telling her. Get one of those. It's a pointer, like a hunting dog.
Mhm.
It looks like a Vizsla, but she said, well, she would love to, but she cannot really have a pet there. But um, maybe that can be also that could be a solution for her uh, situation. And she said that, oh, maybe just a cat. I'm like not sure if a cat would actually help. But she said that, well, she would like to have one if but the cat that she encountered a while ago there had like such a bratty behavior, and she would like to have that some kind of a cat that is not um aggressive, wouldn't bite her, and this one did.
Oh,
And I said, well, um, with animals, my idea or my thought is that if they behave like that, it probably is like because they are in fear, they are afraid, so they are kind of standing up for themselves and in advance associating people with hurt and trying to protect themselves, and so they are hissing or they are like what is it like
oh.
like they are like clawing at other people at people or trying to scratch you, or the dogs that's why they show their fangs, I guess, um or make those growling noises, because not because they are evil, but because they are afraid. They associate um I think they associate pain or hurt with humans.
Mhm.
So, and then one of the cats that I have here had some sort of a trauma as a kitten. So, and that cat is now turning 8 years old, and we just got to the point where I can actually sometimes pet him, and he would not run away. And then sometimes I can lift him up and then pat him and hold him. And it's just like its fur is like so soft, and it's so interesting to hear the what is the noise that a cat makes?
The
Um,
purring?
Purring, yeah, but at the same time you can feel that he's still shaking, like he's still afraid. So enjoys that connection, but doesn't know if like he wants to go or not. And then so if I just, place him on my lap and then take my hands away, then he would just go. He
Mm.
would go for the safest way, like just go away. Okay, I had a little bit of love. So it took 8 years to get this far with that pet. And so I don't know if we are gonna get closer. I mean, he's
I
afraid of my hands. Hmm?
Oh, you
Or human
probably
hands.
will. It takes time. I've
Very long time.
had a couple like that
Mhm.
were scared but wanted the affection, you know.
I mean, he when I go and work in the kitchen, he is always making aids around my feet, and then it's just so pushy that so it's like difficult. Sometimes I really have to watch my step because if I don't want to burn him going from the stove to the sink or and not or myself not fall because of the cat, So it
Yes.
can be like annoying, but like he can be really, really pushy, wanting that attention. And but when I reach for him, like trying to get up, pat him, it is like he runs away. If I try to do the same thing with my feet, he allows me to do it. He would not run. So it's like someone he's
Somebody
afraid of
was
human hand. Yeah, human.
grabbing him.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's sad.
It
Yeah,
is.
my daughter had a cat named Joey. Joey? Yeah. And he really loved her, but I think we got him from a straight cat shelter or whatever,
Mm.
and he would growl when she would pet him. So it sounded like he wanted to be mean, but I don't think he knew how to purr. So he growled just like this, sound. And at first we were concerned, like we thought he was going to attack or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
but it wasn't that. I don't think he had ever maybe experienced uh, pleasure. And so
yeah.
purring wasn't a thing for him,
You know what came
possibly.
to mind now? That how animals can teach us to like be nicer to each other. You know, um, and then how there is a saying. Oh my gosh. That I cannot quote it, but that hate doesn't. And I don't know, not kill hate, but love does. I don't know. There is this saying that I should be able to like Google it, whatever. That's how with love and affection you can actually transform someone else's like life. Like constant showing of affection. So like, and then so it happens with the dogs and cats, or like be it on different pets. I guess I only had dogs and cats, so I don't know. I never really had any birds, or I mean, no, we had fish. We had goldfish, but I mean that's a different. That's I mean, they knew when I was coming to feed them. um, but it's kind of a little bit more difficult to communicate with fish than it is with
Yeah.
dogs and cats. And I know we don't communicate with animals the same way we do with people. So, like as I said in my post a while ago, how uh, how it's probably more like tone of voice and body language that we communicate with our animals than the language itself. So I don't know if it would make a difference if I spoke a different language with my animals, if they would still understand. Probably they learn words, how they sound, not the meaning of it, but how they sound. So if I say Jereda or Tzitz, I don't know. What do you say to your cat to say, come on here?
Oh, yeah, come here.
Come here, come here.
Call her name, but they say cats actually understand more words. They can learn more words than a dog, which is
Mhm.
interesting, And I used to have a cat that we must have had some kind of connection. Every time he would get lost or jump the fence to the neighbor's yard, and he would hide underneath their shed. But before I knew that's what he was doing, because they had a dog in the backyard, right? So he
Okay.
would hurry to get under their shed, but he would be trapped there in this
Mhm.
other backyard. And I would call his name. He knew his name. And so I would stand in my backyard and I would call his name, and I just could get really still and hear his little meow from wherever he was
Okay.
stuck, and it was like like a mommy thing, honing in on your child. But I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, I supposedly cats are way more intelligent and understand words and will come to you when you call their name. A lot of people don't give cats credit that they deserve. They're very intelligent and knowing, and it's kind of funny that they're also a little uh worse than dogs as far as
That's
I
true.
don't attitude. Yeah, it's doing little things, to ignore you or get on your case or whatever. But it's kind of funny.
So we have another one that another cat that is like a princess, you know. So like comes over, you can pet her. Um, she's also like nice, soft, and fluffy, and she's now fat. And and so she comes over and allows you to love her a little bit. But then all of a sudden she decides that okay, I had enough, and then starts like like when her tail starts going like that,
Uh,
then you know that okay, so probably that is and not further, and then you gotta wait for the next time that she comes over for some more love. But the youngest cat we have, we went to this farm play. I don't know. What is it like? It's like a petting zoo. So they have different kind of animals, but it's also like a farm, and there are like events organized in the gazebo or it's not a gazebo that like a big covered square shaped space that people can hold dinners and stuff, different kind of activities for kids, whatever. And so we went to that place when my daughter was around 5 years old, and so we already had actually we had two of the cats, the girl and the scared boy, and on the way out, I think, or maybe when we went in the gift shop, and that also serves as an office. And there was this cage, and in the cage there was this black kitty, and black cats were always like my soft spot. I had one back home that I told him, okay, you can come in my room, but only if you don't go in the bookshelves. Because if they go on a bookshelf, and you try to take them off, then they would grab onto things, and then you would have everything come off that shelf. So things break, and so that was a well-behaving kitty, and I saw this little black kitten, and it was like you could tell that he wanted attention and love, and so I asked to hold him, and then he was laying here on my shoulder and purring. It was just a tiny little thing.
mhm.
So we got him. We took him home with us, and that's like I I don't normally say that I'm not well. There's this phrase that of like being a pet parent, but this cat is definitely like a mama's boy. So like if I don't pay him enough attention, he is going to come and complain. So, but then I got that cat because this cat actually allowed me to. He needed a home too, but he also allowed me to give some love, right? So he needed what I had to give. While the other two, I love the other two too, but they are, in their own words more, and we kind of connected. So it's like I'm not saying this is my favorite cat, but this is definitely the cat that connects me with me the most
Mhm.
out of the three. So um, I was going to talk about something else, or bring up another um, aspect of connections and friendship. Um, just like a few minutes ago, um, thinking about your post, and that you wrote. You published it on Monday, right? I think, or Tuesday. I don't know. I don't remember. And that was definitely something that I didn't even think of. And I love the fact that whenever I talk with you or Patricia or whoever, you always have like a different point of view about a subject. That's so I couldn't imagine what it is like to grow up um, and having moved moved so many times, that it would prevent you from making like I don't know, meaningful connections with some people. So like that, would you would call them
Mhm.
friendships, and but and I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just wanted to acknowledge it that I am happy that you are talking about it, because if it happened to you, it must have happened to like a lot of other people, maybe not under the same settings, that because of your parents' jobs that took you. I mean, there must have been positives because you've seen different parts of the world growing
Mhm.
up, right?
Yeah.
But and then you've seen cultures, and then kids your age in those cultures, right? That most people would not actually have the chance, because if they lived in the same spot for like grew up in the same village or in the same town or city. I mean, uh, living in a big city where there are millions of people walking on the street, uh, that means diversity. That means that you can get to meet different cultures growing up. So, like thinking of New York, or I haven't been to like Los Angeles or San Francisco, or um, I've been really just like in two or three cities, the big cities like that in my life. So, and I didn't grow up in a setting like that. So it was new to me. But we had that that brings up the question of I don't know, importance of connections, human connections in our lives when we are growing up. So it's like not to blame the parents for having a life or lifestyle or work that they do. It's just that I mean I don't know, where am I going with this. um, it makes me think. It makes me think of kids that they move around a lot. You know, that how do they actually, or is it, or the question itself, that if we humans do have to have long connections with some other people to have friends, or to actually be or have an impact big enough, because
I
like
don't think
friendships and
so.
connections, they kind of have an impact on us, right, like opposite, we also do have an impact on theirs. So when they like um if they if we if we need to have a long period of time interacting with each other to stay with us, I
I
don't
don't
know.
think so. Well,
Yeah.
there's some friendships that last a long time, but they always feel like you're uh kind of working hard to keep it working, uh, flowing well. And I've had some friendships where connections are easy. I've even told people it's so easy being friends with you, and like we haven't known each other a really long time. So I just think it's however you connect with people, but everything's different. But like the military life I was talking about,
Yeah.
moving and all this throughout my childhood, going people, friends, being in it like a revolving door, and everything was
Yeah.
temporary and all of that. Um, but I think fortunately now, because of the internet and our smartphones and everything, kids aren't having that experience. If even if they are part of a military family moving a lot, they can still keep those connections, which is a nice aspect of our modern technology. So if had I had something like that growing up, I might have been able to retain and keep those connections. But like my ex-spouse, he grew up in a small town. He
Mhm.
has a few best friends from that town that they've known each other forever. And it's like unbreakable bonds. Like they're
Right.
solid. It's like no matter what argument they can sit there and yell at each other, 50, 60 years that they've known each other, and they can have these horrible arguments,
And they would
but
reconcile after,
it
right?
doesn't, huh?
They would reconcile after.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. They'll eventually just blow it off, but, guys, I think men friendships are a little bit different than women.
Mhm.
I don't feel in my observation, and somebody can jump in if there's any men on here, but I feel like men are more forgiving of their friends a lot of times, than
Yeah.
women. Women will, like, be hurt and take things personally, even smaller things they'll take
Mhm.
personally, and that'll make a rift in a friendship that a woman may not, you know, get over, even if they stay friends, but that'll always be somewhere back here. But I think men, it's like they say, boys will fight it out. They'll beat each other up and shake hands the next day and be friends. They'll forget about that.
I just another question. I keep jumping from one thing to the other. Um, Letters. I'm th- I was thinking that so when I remember when I and Patricia mentioned too that remembers she remembers that um she wrote a lot more handwritten letters like when she was younger than now, and or she you know uh, and then there was a post that I just read yesterday about a Danish postal service stops delivering letters from I think next year because it was, or I don't know, I didn't check the date on the article after the December 30th, but I don't know what year December 30th. So because of digitalization and the number of letters that goes through the system, it goes down drastically, and so they decided it is not profitable. So now, and then there's a comeback of letters now. Even Justine, um, a girl that was on Substack earlier in the springtime, I got to know her. She just kind of jumped in my life saying that I love you under one of my posts, and we became kind of friends. And I loved her writing, and then she decided in June just to quit Substack and social media, I guess, altogether for a while. And then she came back as an early Christmas gift under a different username in December and found me. And so she was saying in her post that and then in notes too, that she actually started writing letters to different people around the world, snail mail. So, like, not emails, but letters, because they have that kind of a quality. And also, the article was talking about the value of letters because someone has to sit down and has to write, take the time, and handwritten, it is not a typed thing. So, like, the time and attention that you put into that and the thought that you put into that letter is making it valuable. And and that also reminds me of my own letter that was shown to me like a year or so ago by my friend, who said that she is not surprised. She was not surprised that I wrote um, because I wrote her, like, I don't know, 15 pages long letters when I was a teenager. So I always knew I can talk a lot, but I didn't think that necessarily I would write something. Uh, like a non-personal thing, or non-work related thing. So my question is, like, during when you were like growing up, or and as you were growing up, were you like keeping in touch with at least some people from your childhood, or like through like writing letters, or did you have like corresponding going on at least for a little bit, and then that kind of faded away? Did you try to look up people from that period of time
I
and things
think when
like
I was
that?
in high school, there were a couple girls that I did stay in contact with. I mean, we were at that more mature age where we could, consciously make that attempt. But, eventually it kind of fizzled out and we all, you know, were graduating school and going on to other things in our lives. So we didn't stay in contact for that long.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um,
Like there's not
and
even a high school reunion thing for my for my class of 1982. I've tried to look it up. I can't find anything but that school was overseas, so that
oh,
could be
okay. I
part of
was
the
gonna ask.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
It was
So,
in Germany, so
oh, okay. So, do you speak German?
I used to. My mom was German.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, yes, you
Yeah.
mentioned yes. Um, okay, so like language. I don't. You are probably gonna go out to walk your dog now, right? But uh,
Yeah, no.
no.
Not
Um, so that reminded me, this language in Germany reminded me of the note I actually wrote yesterday about being bilingual, and then I know that they are like I had to learn right over time that because when I signed up here first and to have an account on Substack, I didn't know um, how big of a percentage of of the users actually are native English speakers. So I didn't really think about it. Um, but I thought that if I go online, regardless of the platform, I can actually send out my message if I'm using a language, send out to whoever, to the ether, if I'm using a language that is spoken all around the world. So that is how, you know, people can, like using a language can, how people actually can communicate with each other using this platform as well. And so, and that allows us to make connections and friendships with each other in different parts of the world. So, like, yes, not only the letter writing on your native language, but the fact of speaking other languages does open up the world, as does internet, and these platforms. They do the same thing. So just reminded me this just the fact that you were saying that your school was in Germany, like you went to finished high school uh, in Germany, and because it is like 103 here, and then maybe we can for just once or twice in I don't know how many times when we have lives, kind of stick to that about an hour
yeah.
period. Um, I remember I want to show you. It's like it's nothing special. This is like just a notebook that I got from a dollar store a while ago, and this reminded me that when I was around 14 or so, and about graduating elementary school, which is like from grade 1 to 8. And then you go to high school or you go to a school that would give occupation and a high school diploma as well. And then would come the college and or university. Uh, so the education system was built up that way at that point. There, as we were planning or getting ready to depart from the school, from like we had classmates, the same classmates from grade 1 to grade 8. So basically we grew from little kids to like teenagers together. So we knew each other really well by the end of the eighth year. There was this habit or kind of tradition that, especially like girls would have like booklets like this one, and they would bring it to school, and their classmates and friends would draw in them and write little poems and or quotes. So, or their teachers as well, handwritten things. So, like one page would be maybe dedicated to one person, and then the other person would draw and have their contribution on the next page, and then so it was like more like a memory book, we would call it, but it's not like today that there are these baby books, or that like you can put different kind of me- um, things related to that baby in there, or you can write little journal entries or memories in there, like what happened at certain age um, of that kid, like journaling kind of thing. But it's like just it's a different kind of creative way of making sure to remember each other once we grow up, and then life is going to take us to on different paths, and so I remember having one of those, and it is probably still in my room back home somewhere. I don't even remember how the booklet looks like, but I remember that my classmates were writing in it, and then it got um, I didn't continue this thing with my other classmates or other people. I didn't push it under their nose that, hey, can you write something in it, or draw me something, or a quote, or just like a wisdom or something in there, or with your own handwriting and or your thoughts. So I have it for later, for my old age, thinking back like what happened when I was a teenager. We didn't do that afterwards. So it is somewhere existing on a bookshelf back home, I guess. But then in like high school, I started. Actually, we went on these school trips, and I asked my classmates if they can write little essays. So that I still have that book, and that is still going to every single school reunion, and they do read it and they write about their lives. So it is it is like still an ongoing thing that my classmates would write little notes in there that, I don't know, 2026, I don't know, this and this happened in the past 5 years. In my life, I work here or there, and then this is where I am. So like 5 years on. So it is like a 30-year long, it's not 30-year long history of what has happened in our lives. So I wonder that if there was, or if it is, you think that a common thing, keeping these memory things, or if like this, what is it called, uh, this clipping thing that was, and then people they clip out articles and stick them into booklets, like if it is something that people still do, or 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 is it the same? It is a different. You understand what I'm saying?
Uh,
I'm not sure.
yeah. I'm just wondering, did everybody have one of those books and everybody is sharing and interacting on each other's books, or is there
No,
one and
mostly
for
the
a
girls they did, I think. The girls, because I don't know if boys would draw pictures. I mean, what into, but the girls I think they did drawing like flowers and putting a nice little poem in there for the other ones. I don't know, but this is like, I think it was a cultural thing, and it was also like a time, um, because there was no internet at that point.
Yeah.
So 4 years after, um, internet still was not what into 1996. 4 years after, so like it was 1992, then 1996. It was still not a common thing. But I remember using the internet more frequently. It was around the 2000s. back home. And it was, but still, it wasn't the biggest part of our life. So, like these analog things, such as like having photo albums, and because it kind of for us or my friends, it boiled down to that more, that to keep memories, you would have photos printed and then stuck them into photo albums, and kept them as a memory, but not so much about the creative way of drawing and quoting from writers and poets, or writing down your own thoughts in, like, for memory's sake for later.
Like scrapbooking. A lot
And
of
that is,
people are
yeah,
into
like
that.
scrapbook, like I don't know if it. I don't know, but scrapbook has like it's like collecting different kind of mementos from your life, right? And then sticking them into one place. No?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like almost like it's like a photo album in a sense. I don't know. I'm sure you're familiar with them. I don't need to tell you, but
To be honest with you, I have
everyone.
not seen one. I haven't seen one scrapbook
Okay.
in person ever.
Oh,
So
I didn't even know what it was until like I think 2010. I got
yeah.
kind of brought along with a friend to another friend was having well, she called it a scrapbooking party, but it was partly they wanted you to buy into this scrapbooking stuff, like stamps and paper, special paper and all this stuff to create your scrapbooks. But I didn't even know what scrapbooking was at the time. And I'm like, this is really kind of cool, but I've never seen this before where you cut out paper and make little frames and put it around pictures. And, it was interesting to me. Totally
So is
new.
it like, what is the goal of the scrapbooking is it different than having these memory books of, like,
I think
or
it's
it's
kind
just
of
a different
this.
kind of, like, different kind of um
You can make
execution of it?
you can make, you can make them themed, like, okay. This guy's got to go, I think. But you can just make different themes and people specific and vacation ones and, just all different kinds. So I mean, I like the thing you were telling me about where friends contribute to pages and put little comments down and it's a
I don't think that is still
menage.
happening. I think there is a lot of those things that we did kind of died down, similarly to the Danish postal service delivering mail. Um, Now with all the digitalization that is happening.
Mhm.
Um, but human connections, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Hu- Human connections should not die down by the fact of digitalization or friendships, and it can be actually a boost too.
Be. I would hope,
Yeah,
that
I
it
hope
can
so.
be. But,
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely happy that I got to come um, across you and like at least a handful of other people that I happen to be able to build closer relationship with um, over the period of time that I've been on Substack now. So it this wouldn't have. I mean, there is no way for me to get to know you or other ways that than through the internet, and because you are in a different part of I mean, same country, but like hundreds or I don't know, thousands of miles away from me. I don't know,
yeah,
thousands,
probably.
probably like 2,000 miles away from me, something like that. Oh my gosh. So anyway,
I'm so
uh,
sorry. Ugh,
no, no,
this did not turn out as I planned at all, but, I'm gonna
yeah, it's okay.
let
There
you
was
go because we're making a mess
yeah,
out of your podcast or
yeah,
your.
no, no, there was no plan. So yeah, it is kind of messy here a little bit. Oh, hi, great son from Atlantis. Um, um, I I let you go. take that boy on a walk and enjoy your walk. And I thank you for your time, and sorry for the, just my thoughts going from one way to the other. As I said, I was not um, prepared with a note or an outline of how um, we should like build this up. Maybe we should have like previously we were more organized, but we touched on like a bunch of things. So um, I don't know if it was good or not. I hope it was somewhat enjoyable, or made people think. I don't know.
Yeah,
um,
I
I
I
let
liked your thing, but
what?
I'm nothing. I'm sorry about the dog. This didn't
No,
go
don't be.
really
No,
affect.
I am happy that he was a highlight of
He probably was more interesting.
more interesting than what I felt what I was being able to say today. But anyhow, I thank you for your contribution and for talking with me and coming online with me. And
Thanks for
thank
inviting me.
everybody for coming and watching us and rambling around, because it felt to me a little bit that I was rambling about all kinds of stuff. And there is still one thing that I didn't mention, that is basically like like poets friendship, poets having friendships or referring to one another. But maybe another time we will go into it. I don't know. Next week is like a holiday week here, right? Next week, like
Oh.
Monday, is Martin Luther King Day.
Oh,
So it's like,
God, don't. Harriet, I gotta get off.
all right then.
He's eating my
Um,
electronics. Thank you. I'll
Thank
talk to you
you.
later.
Yeah, talk later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well, again, everybody, thank you very much for joining. Sorry about the messy live today. Um, Next week, I don't know if we are going to have a live or not, and if so, then with whom, and if it is going to be any better than this one was. Maybe we will give it another go with Anne, and and talk about friendship differently, because we can do that. We've done that with Patricia before. And then hi Randy. Anne has just actually left with the dog. And So again, thank you for the attention. And then last week of January, we are planning on having a live with Emma, um, talking with her about what friendships and connections mean in our lives. And please, if you can, just keep us, I don't know, in your thoughts. But it's like not. I can't even speak. Um, just stay with us. Like maybe next time it is going to be more organized and better. Sorry for if it was a little bit hectic. Anyhow, I think I better get off the screen before I make a complete fool of myself if I haven't done it. So I am so excited about what, Emma? In general, I I'm just I don't know, not very organized today. My thoughts are all over the place. So but I am looking forward to seeing your post on Monday. I mean, it is always exciting to talk to you guys. I just never know how it goes. So um, I cannot even rely on myself, to be honest. So um, I can, but in general too, yeah. excited or nervous or I don't know. Anyhow, um, thank you for joining and watching us talk about whatever came to mind regarding to friendship and connections. Um, have a nice afternoon, and I'll send out a note or post about the next live at least a day or so before it happens, and let you know. We will let you know about the happenings at Women's Perspective. So, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.